All right, step 14 is creating a scatter plot graph comparing temperature with money spent on activities. So the first thing we have to do is highlight those two columns. So I want to highlight the columns temperature and money spent on activities. Be careful that you don't highlight all the way down because I have averages down here and I don't want those numbers included. So go to temperature and activities and I'm going to group them up and go all the way down, but not to here. I'm going to stop here at the bottom of day 14. It's hard to tell because I have the blue over here, but those are both highlighted. I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to go to chart. Give it a second. And because I already practiced it, scatter plot's going to come up for me. But let's say you haven't. You're going to go over to chart type. It may have brought up something else like lines or something else. Scroll down to scatter plot. So if scatter chart didn't show up, then scroll down and select scatter chart. And it says to make the x-axis temperature. So it looks like mine already did. And then the y-axis is the activities. But let's say it didn't. I would click on this and I would just swap that up if I needed to, but mine is correct. I have x-axis as temperature. I don't know why it says series because that is correct. The y-axis is activities if I look over at my graph. If I go to customize, there are other things I can do. So I can change the horizontal axis if I wanted to change the color of it or make it bolded or change the font on the thing. I could do that. Just play around with it. There's different things you can do in the way you want to have it shown. If I want to show more values or whatever, I can do that. I can do the same thing on the vertical axis. I can make it show the lines, like the tick lines or not. So just mess around. I also want to change sometimes the title. So the title for this is kind of annoying, like activities money versus temperature F. That's kind of annoying. So I might want to say money spent on activities versus, or maybe compared to temperature. And I might want to put F in parentheses so I know this is the temperature Fahrenheit. And so it changed that title. Okay, so I'm going to just X out of this so it's not there. And then I think I said move this graph to the right and out of the way of the spreadsheet. So I should be able to grab this graph somehow and move it over so it's not in the middle of everything. Okay, when we do our big project, you're going to probably copy this graph and put it into your thing. But now I can see whatever the temperature was and how much money was spent on activities. So what's weird, and it's 55 degrees, I spent a lot of money on activities. What story does the graph tell us? Maybe that when it's cold, I needed to spend more money because when it was warmer out, I didn't have to spend as much on activities. Whatever.